Welcome once again to another edition of our Coach's Corner program. Jamie Pearson, boys basketball coach to my right, Corey White, the girls basketball coach to my immediate left. And Coach, we'll start with you. Last week, a split. You got the league game, which obviously is good, and another close one on Saturday night against Marysville. And boy, you know better than anybody. You've had a lot of those close games this year. Yeah,
it's always good to get the league win. We played exceptionally well, especially on the defensive end in the first half. So I was pleased with our kids' effort. Second time through, we've talked about it on here before, how difficult that can be. And then, Saturday going on the road, another OCC team. We keep knocking on the door. We're right there, but just can't seem to get over the hump. So nothing else. Hopefully we'll continue to get battle tested for when the tournament starts.
And Corey, I know a couple of games last week. I saw your game against River Valley, and in that game in particular, you just got into foul trouble. I thought you competed hard, but you got in foul trouble early in that game, and then to start the second half, same thing. You got into foul trouble in that third quarter, and I know that hindered you.
Yeah, the River Valley game was tough. I think River Valley made 10 free throws in the very first quarter. Those were their only points.
They were in the 1-and-1 in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that's something we've been really good about this year, because we know we don't have a deep bench, is playing really good, solid defense without fouling. We were trying to adjust to how the refs were calling the game, and we weren't quick enough. So, yeah, that game we started off really well too. We came out with a 9-1 lead, 11-1 lead, and then fouls started getting called and threw us off a little bit, and we had to make a lot of game time adjustments, which just came a little bit too late.
You got a tough stretch coming up. You got, weather permitting, you got 3 games in 4 days.
Yeah, we have Ontario tomorrow. I'm sorry, today's Wednesday. So Ontario Friday, Lima Senior Saturday, Mansfield Madison Monday, and then we'll finish our season out against Pleasant next Thursday. So 4 games in a little bit amount of time. So yeah, it's coming quick.
We'll come back. We'll take a look at some of the highlights from both the boys and the girls. We'll talk a little bit about the tournament draw with Corey as well. Girls tournament draw was held last Sunday. Boys tournament draw is going to be held this Sunday. We'll be back with more on our Coach's Corner program right after these words. Once again, back on the Coach's Corner program. This is the segment where we're going to talk boys basketball with Coach Pearson. And Jamie, we always talk about, especially when you have 2 games in a weekend, you always want to get that league game. And once again, you got that league game on Friday. And overall, how do you think you played against Highland?
We were real pleased. We've been working on improving on our half-court defense. I think we held them to 1 point in the first quarter and 5 points in the second quarter. We limited them to 6 points in the first half, and they've been playing well. I think at that point they were maybe 4th place in the league behind us, or tied with us for 4th place. They had beaten Ontario, had beaten Pleasant, and Clear Fork, and maybe had, like I said, 3 or 4 wins in a row. So for us to come out and execute defensively as well as we did, I was really pleased with our guys.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights from that contest last week against Highland.
Friday league games, as I said, second time through, you're always a little nervous, and if you check the scores, everybody's always playing somebody tougher the second time, and so we were definitely worried here. Marquise Long, he's one of our sophomores, very active athletically, defensively. He gets the steal here and puts it in for 2 points. Highland's trying to run on us a little bit, pushing it. Some pretty good defense. Riley Kieran with the block allows us to start our break there. Moving the ball there, you mentioned Wes. I know he was a Fady Bank Athlete of the Month recently. Shot the ball pretty well that game. There's a 3 from him for the wing. And then more Riley kind of being active, getting deflections. He comes up with the steal, and then he's able to go to the cup pretty strong there for 2. Nick Hecker kind of getting some time for us as we're losing some guys to injuries and a variety of things. Nickleby is a junior, and hope big things come from him. He hits a 3 there. And then more really good defense. Block, we come up with a loose ball, which is always an emphasis for us. And then another sophomore, a kid that's been getting some more playing time, Wes's brother Alex hits a 3 for us there. It's always good when we can add another shooter, and he's that. And then Amari Pedraza, he's been an excellent defender for us all year. Our press is getting cranked up there. He gets the steal and scores 2. And then more Marquise Long, quick hands, able to get loose and convert the 2 points there. So, did some really good things defensively, and getting deflections and steals was a big part of that. And then a good kick there for a 3. It just happened to be our night. We got them by 17. Well-coached team. They got a lot of good players. Happy to get a league win.
All right. And then the following night, again, not a whole lot of time to prepare.
Yeah, it's our first back-to-back. We've done Thursday, Saturday, but, Marysville had just knocked off Olentangy Liberty, which is a school with 3,000 or 4,000 kids. We got down 10-0 early on, but the kids didn't quit. Amari Pedraza, one of his, I think, 2 threes that night. And then our pressure was able to get to them a little bit. Wes Stokes off the steal, scoring 2, got us back into it. And then there's some more Wes Stokes there. He had an excellent game. I think he had 22 points for us on the night. He did a little bit of everything. You saw the 2 steals. He's shooting the ball really well from 3 lately. There's a big 3 there to keep us in the game. As you can see, we were down pretty big. And as our kids have done time and time again, we battled back. I think we had it cut to 2 points. Again, it was a lot of Wes. You're going to see a big-time dunk here. Their coach thought he was going to rip the rim down on that one. He told me after the game. We can bother people when we're long and active. And there you go, looking at Wes's dunk again. And, definitely can rattle people when we get our press working. But you saw Wes's 3 earlier on the opposite wing. He hits another one. And those are pulling us back in, and I think that one cut the lead to 8. Down 5 here, and then there's Alex Stokes. The bank is open on a Saturday night from the top of the key, but we weren't able to get it done. But it was a close game. The kids never quit, and for my first year, maybe we're not winning every game that I want to win, but we're definitely doing things the right way, and we're getting there. It's it's just we haven't been able to get over that hump yet.
Yep. And tournament draw coming up on Sunday.
Yeah, it could be all over the place. I don't know, there's probably somewhere between 40 and 50 teams in the Central District. There's some really, really good basketball teams in the Central District. There's really good teams that are in tough leagues, so the records can be deceiving. So you just never know what you're going to get. You never know what coaches are going to do. You open up your ballot on Saturday and you see where you think you're going to be ranked, and then you just try to decide what the best fit for your team is. So we always look forward to the draw on Sunday.
Hopefully we can get those games in this weekend, and good luck. I know you didn't play real well in that first game against Upper Rover at Grant, so hopefully you'll turn it around this weekend.
Yeah, always good to go back to the Grant, the old Harding High School, and our kids usually play well there, so hopefully we're in for a really good game if we're able to play that Saturday.
All right, good luck.
Thanks, Jeff.
We'll be back. We're going to talk girls basketball with Corey White right after these words.
The historic OK Cafe.
Pizza, calzones, subs, sandwiches, and more. Our fresh dough is made daily, topped with your favorite ingredients and made to order.
Stop in for our lunch buffet or check out our many daily specials.
Looking for something to do?
Come in and check out our giant projector screen on game days. Sing with friends on karaoke nights and dance the night away with live entertainment from your favorite local bands.
So even though Rex might have a short reach, we'll never come up short on service.
So remember, when you're hungry, check out the OK Cafe, home of the giant 20-inch Pizzasaurus Rex made to order. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Come to the historic OK Cafe, located at 734 East Center Street, Marion made for over 80 years.
Once again, back on the Coach's Corner program, girls basketball, our topic now. And Corey, let's talk a little bit about those games last week, starting with the first one.
Yeah, so we'll watch the highlights here soon. We had Highland first. We're really battling COVID during that week. We had a couple, I think about 4 or 5 of our players kind of get quarantined or this and that. It's always kind of different how to react. So we only had 8 girls on our bench that night. We only played a varsity game, but our girls came out and played a really tough Highland team who their coaches really turned their program around. They're really tough. And here you'll see Kiani hit a 3 off the drive, and really got to keep an eye on her. I think she had 3 or 4 threes this night. Here Anaya gets a steal with a deflection from Justice, and I think Anaya is second in the league in steals right now, and a lot of that credit goes to her teammates too for getting a lot of deflections for her, and she flies around. So with Justice and Kiani out there being long, we get a lot more deflections than other teams, and Anaya is able to clean up a lot. You saw Justice there hit a 3, and then Kiani here with a big block. I believe she's second in the league in blocks too. She is, I don't know if it's a volleyball in her or what, but she's really good at timing up those blocks and getting a lot of clean blocks during this year. It's nice to see. And I think Maurice here with a steal and a fast break. I think she gets fouled on this play. But it's one of those things when we play a team like Highland, we try to get the pace up and we try to get going and get after them and use our guard pressure to really turn things up here. You can see that with the steal here between the 2 freshmen at the top of the key. Justice here with a little easy steal right there. A little bit nice if she made that. Though.
Yeah.
I think she had 26 points that night, so she had a great night. And I think Kiani had 17. So I mean, we had two girls really show up big that night for us. And here we have River Valley, like we talked about earlier. We started off really strong. We were able to pressure their guards, get a lot of steals, get some transition points, and get the tempo up. And one of those things as a coach, you never want to blame the game on the referees and the way they were calling fouls. But River Valley shot 11 free throws in the first quarter. Those were all their points. I don't think they got a field goal until about 3 minutes into the second quarter. That really changed the momentum, getting into foul trouble for us, something we've been able to avoid a lot this year, keeping our girls in the right defensive position without fouling. So it was a tough game. We ended up falling at the end. Really, we played them extremely tough. The first time we played them was the game every quarter went into overtime, or we tied every quarter and then went into overtime and came out with a victory. But the girls played hard, and Justice there with a big block. And Kiani here with another block. I think she might have had five blocks this game, which is it's pretty impressive from a guard, which she doesn't play post. So Kamar Reese there with a quick trigger on the 3. When she shoots with confidence and shoots without thinking about it, she's good and she's going to be special. Kiani here with a 3-pointer. We got a lot of girls that just stayed after it, and I mean, you see Kiani a lot of in these highlights all over the place, making defensive plays and offensive plays, but we weren't able to come up with a win that night, and that one stung. It stung a lot. Here we had Clear Fork. I talked to their coach a lot before the game, Scott Sellers. They have a really cool, unique youth program. And our youth program just got started up this year. We haven't had one for the last couple years due to COVID and a couple other things. So it was pretty neat seeing their program do what they're doing. They're really turning it around there.
So you're saying their program's been down for a while,
Yeah.
but boy, they've turned it around big time this year.
Yep, and he was a heck of a basketball player in high school too. I think he might be in their Hall of Fame now. But I mean, the Clear Fork's not who they used to be. They're a really tough team that can sub. They have a deep bench. They have a lot of soccer players on their team, which you never want to play a team with a lot of soccer players because they get after it and they never take a break. And with a team like ours, we have a lot of gas until about the fourth quarter. So that's something we've been looking at in practice and film is how can we get our fourth quarter off to a quick start like we do our first and third quarters. But something we need to look at, and with a young team we can correct, and hopefully we have very, very winnable games. The next 4 games to finish out the season, and then hopefully a sectional championship in our future. But we weren't able to get it done here against Clear Fork. Just fell a little short. And it was kind of neat too. Anaya had her first face guard action that night, so she's a freshman point guard, and coach kind of hinted to me at the beginning of the game, before the game started, about face guarding her, but something we need to come back and work on. And I told her it's going to be one of many in the many games she has in her future. So
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then you play at Grant also on Friday night.
Play at Grant on Friday. Yep, against Ontario.
All right. Good luck. I know you got a full weekend, and hopefully we'll get all of them in. We'll talk again next week.
Hopefully. Thank you.
All right. We'll be back. We'll wrap it up with Jamie Pearson and with Coach White right after these words. Once again, back on the Coach's Corner program, and Jamie, let's talk a little bit about who you have coming up in the next week or so.
It's getting to be that time for us. We have River Valley on Thursday at River Valley. So,
maybe.
Maybe, weather permitting. I think we've looked at some dates early next week if that game isn't played. And then Saturday, one of those Saturday dips, both league games, we entertain Clear Fork. It'll be our second game at Grant. Hopefully it goes a little better than our first one this year.
Yeah, that River Valley game, I did that one, and that was one of those games, like a number of your games this year. You got behind early in the first quarter. You kept, playing catch up. You eventually caught them at the end of the game, went into overtime. And I remember in that game, West Oaks really just kind of took over late in the game and in the overtime period.
Yeah, for sure. Much like Corey you spoke of earlier, we got in foul trouble, and so that changes everything about what we do and how we play. And we had to adjust and kind of made us something we weren't, so we got behind. We were able to come back, and they got a really good team. They're really well coached. On that night, even though it went overtime, we were able to make the plays to get the job done.
I know you'd love to play the role of spoiler. Technically, you're not out of the league race. You knock River Valley off, and River Valley still got Shelby to play, so an awful lot to play for in that River Valley ball game.
Yep, for us it is spoiler. We want to, they're our big rival game for us, so anytime you can be a county school, our kids get excited for that. But,
sure.
There's a little bit more on it that they're still in the league hunt, so if we can play spoiler, I'm sure that would make our kids happy.
Oh. And Corey, for you, again, the league game Friday night, a couple of non-league games. Probably a lot of people don't know much about Lima Senior or Mansfield Madison. Talk a little bit about both those teams.
Yeah, we haven't played Lima Senior, I think, since GBC days. So back when I was in high school, I don't know how long that continued. We have them Saturday morning. We're lucky enough, our transportation's letting us go watch our 7th grade girls in the championship game Saturday morning at Galleon. So
okay.
We're going to hop on a bus, go watch them play for about an hour, and take off to Lima. Very winnable game, athletic, tough team there. And then we come back and play Monday against Mansfield Madison.
And that was the makeup game for Christmas.
Correct, yep. They got two pretty tall girls, I think 6'1", 6'2", and pretty good athletic guards, but also winnable. We match up really well with them. Exciting stuff. Senior night will be Monday. Justice has a chance to score 1,000 points, if not Friday, Saturday, or Monday. So that's pretty exciting as well. Finishing up our season Thursday at Pleasant.
All right, and the girls' tournament draw was held last week. Who do you play and when?
We play the winner of DeSales and Grove City on February 18th in a sectional championship game. So
okay, very good.
It'll be exciting.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
It's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Coach's Corner program. For Corey White and Jamie Pearson, I'm Jeff Ruth.